I'll try again. Okay, looks like we're live on Facebook. Just waiting for YouTube. Stream looks good, and I guess we're live, guys.
Yeah.
All righty.
I'm all in Cripple Creek.
Live now. Yes, we are. Let me get rid of the speaker.
Up the creek without a paddle, but wouldn't much matter if they had a paddle or not, I guess, right about now, with no water in the rivers anyway. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the page. It's Chris Kerwin here with Astronomy by the Bay, and I'd like to welcome back the two gentlemen here that are normally with me, Mr. Paul Owen there.
Hey,
Paul, RAS member Paul Owen from RAS New Brunswick member Paul Owen from the Moon Shadow Observatory in Hampton, New Brunswick.
Yours.
Yours. And on our screen at the moment here now, yeah, there we are. Oh, wait, pin him. Here he is. Pinned. Consider yourself pinned. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory here in St. John. Welcome, guys. Okay, we'll unpin here and we'll go back to our normal conversation. So,
Unpinned.
I don't know why you're staying pinned. You are, Mike, for some reason.
I felt like a pin cushion.
Anyway, tonight we're going to change things up a little bit. A couple of weeks ago, someone asked about if we could do a talk on zodiacal light, so I'm going to try to do that at the end of our evening tonight. But also, we do have a number of things coming up. Mike is going to do a talk tonight on listening to the sun with his IBRT, Itty Bitty Radio Telescope, I guess it's called. Not seeing the feed on Facebook.
No.
Peter's saying, oh, really? Facebook is, and let's try this one. Let's try this button. Glitch on Facebook. Hang on, folks. I want to make sure we get everybody on board. Let's see if we got everybody there now. How are we looking now, folks, on Facebook? Anybody on Facebook that can say hello?
There you go. Yeah, hello.
Hello. Oh, you're saying hello.
Yeah, you're live.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be watching yourself, Paul. I'm here, he says.
That's why we were glitching through Paul. It's a Montreal hat.
That must be it. Okay, let's go back to our introductions again. We've got right here on the screen right now, we have Mr. Paul Owen from the Moon Shadow Observatory in Hampton, beautiful Hampton, New Brunswick, the suburbs of Fairfield. I better watch myself.
We're going to get it for that one.
And Mr. Mike Powell here from the PFO Observatory in St. John, New Brunswick. Looks like we're up. I'm not seeing any comments yet on Facebook, but Paul says we're up anyway, so we're going to say we're up.
Oh, yeah.
All looks great on
There
YouTube.
we go. There. Facebook is now working. Thanks, Peter. Hello, Tim.
There. Are we, babe?
All right, let's go back to our topics again. So tonight, we're going to change things up a little bit. Tonight we may be doing, let me pin myself here again. I'm just learning Google Meets. This is all new to us, but we're used to the stubbornness of everything, right? So we're going to change things up a little bit tonight, maybe a little bit later on. Someone did ask me to do a talk on zodiacal lights, what it is. So we'll probably talk about that a little bit later on in the broadcast. But first up tonight is going to be Mike. Mike is going to give us a talk about listening to the sun through his IBRT, which is the Itty Bitty Radio Telescope. That'll be an interesting talk. And then following Mike's talk, we're going to take a quick break to show your photo submissions that are sent in through the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. We'll take a look at some of them. And then just shortly after the photo submissions, we're going to announce the winners of our current contest. I have all of the entries right here beside me, all set to go. Yay! Somebody's going to win some prizes tonight. Woohoo!
Yay!
And after we do that, Paul's going to continue on with his excellent discussion there about shooting night sky. Probably going to get in a little bit into processing, Paul, I guess, tonight.
Stacking.
Stacking. Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes.
Stacking, and then, well, in between there somewhere, we're going to have Rosanna's Fun Facts episode, as we normally do. I'm giving up the What's New in Space talk tonight just to get us squeezed in here because we have a lot of stuff to cover tonight. So I'll save that one for next week. And then hopefully at the end of the night, we'll do a little review of what's coming up in the night sky this week. So hopefully that explains it all. If it doesn't, well, maybe go back and play the recording back. Oh. I'm an amateur astronomer. I'm not a broadcaster. Have you caught on yet? It's been almost a year.
Isn't that what Doc McCoy would say all the time?
Damn it, Jim.
Yeah.
Not a,
One time in Star Trek, he said,
I'm an astronomer, not a broadcaster.
well, no, but there was somebody who was actually sick. Jim said, he's sick. What do you do? He said, damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a... Oh, yeah.
So if anybody wants to take a look at Mike's background there, you can see where Mike's topic is going to be.
They're working on it.
They're working on it, yep.
They're working on it.
So Mike, I'm going to let you carry it away from now. You're pinned on the conversation part. Should be good to go.
See if we can learn how to share these screens again. Entire screen is what I'm looking for. This one. No, this one. Share. If we're lucky, we should see the logos from the 3 observatories.
Yes.
Awesome. We're heading in the right
No,
direction.
hang on a second. I'm not seeing it.
I am.
You are?
Oh, but I'm seeing it just on us. I'm sorry. Not on Facebook. But there's a delay, right?
It says you're presenting to everyone, so. Let me know. I can try it again.
I have to try it again, Mike. Not exactly sure why we're not seeing it. Hang on. I'll unpin you. Try again.
Try our screen. This one. This one.
Now you're doing. Yeah, I had you pinned. That's why. Okay, we're good.
So we're good.
Now we're
As long
good.
as I hit the stop sharing button. Brought to you by SNAS, the Saturday Astronomy Show.
Snazzy.
So, what I wanted to talk about tonight isn't, I guess it's listening to the sun, but it's. I looked at it from this perspective. I was looking for an alternative to a solar scope. So when we go to star parties or do public observing during the daytime for solar events, not everybody out there has a dedicated solar scope or an H-alpha scope. And there's always numerous telescopes around with a white light filter on them, people showing sunbots and stuff. And me being me, I was sitting there going, well, what can I do that's different? There's got to be something I can do to attract the crowd over and above just the regular stuff that's kicking around. The answer to that was, whoops, go back one, just build an itty-bitty radio telescope. So how do you do that? Well, in my case, I ripped the satellite dish off my sister's roof. They didn't know it was missing for about 3 months. But get yourself any satellite dish will do. It doesn't matter what type, what brand. They virtually all do the same thing. You can find a lot of people have chucked them out in the garbage. They've gone to streaming and they've gotten rid of the satellite dishes and they throw them out. You're driving down, you see one laying in the garbage, don't be shy, pick it up, because that's a good way to find them at a good price. So you get yourself a satellite dish. Then you want to make sure that the piece that's on the end, the part that picks up there, does the receiving of the dish. It's called an LND, or a low noise block down converter. You want to make sure that that's in working condition. If it's not, you can go on Amazon and you can go on eBay and you can buy a used one. Believe it or not, for a 2-channel one, it's about $6. And it was really cheap because I bought 2 of them just in case the one that I had on my particular dish didn't work. So you want to see if you can get one that has at least 2 connections. Some of them have 5, some of them have 4, 2, and there's even ones out there with just 1 connection. You want to get at least 2 connections, and later on I'll let you know why. So now you got your satellite dish, you got your noise blanker. You want to get yourself some paint. Because you don't want to just have people walk into a field or in the middle of the parking lot, look over and see with a satellite dish. They'll figure you're just watching a movie. You want to attract people to what you're doing. So customize it. Paint it some color that's going to be customized to you. throw some labels on it, some stickers with a name, call it the Itty Bitty Radio Telescope, call it whatever you like. Excuse me. Throw some personalized decals on it, something different, just again to attract people. The whole goal is to get everybody away from the solar scope and bring them over to see what you're doing. You're going to need a couple of pieces of coaxial cable. Everybody had cable TV at one time, probably. You probably got some old coaxial cable laying around the house. If you don't, believe it or not, you can still go down to the dollar store and you can buy coaxial cable, 10-foot lengths in a bag for $2.99. You're probably going to need at least 2 lengths, about 10 feet long, if not 3. So, you're going to spend $10 at the dollar store coaxial cable if you don't have one. And you're going to need what's called a satellite finder or a detector. Now, there are some real expensive detectors out there. You don't need to spend a whole lot of money. We're trying to do this on Mike Powell's budget, which is very low. So, the one thing you want to do is go eBay or Amazon. But if you look down here on the bottom right, or look up on the top left, those 2 satellite finders are actually available for about $20 a piece on Amazon. You can go down to the blue one at the top. I bought at Best Buy, and I think I paid $15 for it. So it's cheap to find a satellite detector, and you definitely have to have one of those because that's what's going to tell you you're listening to the sun. And then from there, you're going to need an 18-volt power source. Now, it's simple to do. You can either buy yourself an 18-volt battery, which I don't think I've ever seen one, but you can take 9-volt batteries, touch them to your tongue to make sure they still work, and put 2 of them together, and you connect that to a coaxial cable, and you get yourself an 18-volt power source. And I'll show you how to wire that here as we go through. But you got to have an 18-volt because when you're using a satellite dish, it's normally supplied its power from the receiver in the house, and that receiver is what's supplying it with an 18-volt signal. Well, you're not going to have the satellite receiver with you out in the field. That's probably long gone in the garbage. So you still have to feed the finder or detector an 18-volt source, and that's the easy way to do it with 2 9-volt batteries. Now we get to the simple part, the build. So you're going to want to make your 18-volt power supply. You're going to want to connect the satellite to the detector. You're going to want to connect the detector to the satellite dish. And then you're going to point it at the sun. Excuse me for half a second here. We'll go to the battery pack. It's pretty simple to make. You're going to, hold on here. I get into one of my coughing fits right in the middle of a presentation. Isn't that great? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, you're going to take 2 9-volt batteries. And you're going to connect those in series, not parallel. You want to get 18 volts, not stick with 9. So you're going to take your coaxial cable and start with the negative side of one battery. That's going to connect to the braided part of the coaxial cable. You're going to take the positive side of that battery, bring it around and connect it to the negative side of the second battery. Then you're going to take the positive side of the second battery, bring it around, and connect it to the center pin or the center wire on the coaxial cable. Now you've got 18 volts. Very, very simple. There we go. You're going to take that, if I can get it to move here, and connect it to the finder. So you want to connect that to the end that's labeled receiver, because that was the part where the receiver in your house was connected to it and supplying it with 18 volts. So you plug your coaxial cable with 18 volts made to your battery pack into that side. Then you want to take your dish and connect it to the side that's labeled satellite, because that's what you're going to point at the satellite. From there, get it to flip here. You want to mount your itty bitty radio telescope somehow. I took all the mounting brackets that we used to bolt it to the roof of my sister's place off. And I basically drilled 2 holes in the bar, making sure I didn't hit the wires. And I bolted a Vixen bar on the bottom. And now I can mount my itty bitty radio telescope dish on an EQ mount. And I do that so I can track with the sun all day long and I don't have to touch it again. And it was very simple. Just 2 holes, make sure you don't drill through the wires, and bolt on a Vixen dovetail plate. You're done. And then you mount your satellite dish on your mount. And now, like I said, you can track all day long. So what have you done? You've built your battery pack, you connected the wires to your satellite dish, brought all that in, connected that to your radio finder. What do you do next? You look at the sun. Now, what are you going to look for when you look at the sun? Okay, we got everything set up. Is it going to work or not? So, come on. Go to the next slide. I call it you're going to watch for the sun. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your dish and slowly turn it and point it towards the sun. And you're going to look at your satellite finder, and you're going to watch the needle or the graph that's on it. And the closer you get to the sun, that's going to start to move up, because the electromagnetic signal from the sun is quite powerful. And it's going to take that and it's going to pick it up on the finder. And when you get centered on the sun, that needle or graph is going to be pinned at 100%. I'll guarantee it. You had a question, Paul?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard somebody say so. Sorry. So anyway, it's probably going to get pinned all the way over. Well, that tells you you're on the sun, but it doesn't really tell you if you're watching anything. So all of these finders, they either have an attenuator button on them, like down here in the corner, or they have a dial button. You can actually dial that needle down or the graph down, and you want to dial it down to about 50%. So now your needle is sitting in the middle of the meter and your graph is sitting in the middle of the meter. And if there's any activity on the sun, it gives it room to move up and down. And all you do is you watch that meter, and as it moves, that's the sun sending a signal into your itty bitty radio telescope, and you're translating it down onto the screen, and you're watching it on a VU meter, basically. And that's it. That's an itty bitty radio telescope. But when it comes to me, I have to go one step further. So, going one step further. Let's see my little hands going there. I added what's called an SDR radio dongle, or software-defined radio dongle, and I connected that to the second post on the LNB. I used a modified coaxial cable. All it's doing is changing the end so that I can screw one end onto the LNB, and the other end of the coaxial cable I can screw onto the portion of the SDR dongle which receives an antenna. Then you connect the SDR dongle to your laptop. You run your software-defined radio software, and now you can start seeing a graphic image of what you're actually listening to or seeing coming into the satellite dish. How does that work? First, you start with an SDR dongle. I don't know if you've ever seen them out there, but people used to buy them to get free digital TV. They cost about $25 to $35 on eBay or Amazon. It plugs into your USB port, and it's got an antenna on it, and that antenna is what you're going to plug your coaxial cable onto. This is, I guess, if you're a little bit techie. Then you're going to take and you're going to download free, because it's out there absolutely free, some software-defined radio software. And what that gives you is a waterfall or a translation of your signal into a waterfall, so you can actually watch the signal and get a visual idea of what's going on. And it's pretty cool. Here's a quick showing you how to connect it. This first one is my satellite finder when I was out in the field. You can see a coaxial cable coming in. That's from the first LNB screw on the satellite dish, and I was watching that and tuning it in to make sure I was on the sun. The second part with their little red plug, that's my 18-volt power supply, so it's getting its power. But then you take the second LNB plug-in on your dish, you bring it around, and it plugs right in here to the antenna on your SDR radio dongle. That goes into a USB port. You turn on your software from there, your software-defined radio, and you get what's called a waterfall effect. Now, in this case, I was listening to the sun at 39.6 megahertz using the SDR dongle, and you can see across the top the waveform patterns. You're listening to the static basically coming from the sun, but static is an electromagnetic signal, just like speakers give out an electromagnetic signal of sound. This works in the same process, and you'll see that the sun will move around here on this top one, and down on the bottom, this is a waterfall graph that tracks from the top of the screen down to the bottom of the screen in here. And as that tracks down and the sun, has some activity, you'll see the difference in colors going across. So if there's a solar flare, you might see a big white line come across down here like this and move across the screen as it's tracking down. And so now, and through that, you can actually turn on the speakers on your laptop or whatever, and you can listen to the static at the same time, and you can hear it pick up and you can hear it crackle, and now you can visually watch what's happening as well. So you're actually seeing solar activity on this software and listening to it at the same time. And if you were looking through a solar scope, you might even possibly see a solar flare come off the side. You would hear it in real time. So you've got it all set up. You're ready to go. What do you do next? Sit in the sun and get yourself a suntan. So here's a quick picture. We were set up at Livingston Lake at the time. You can see I've got the Itty Bitty Radio Telescope dish is mounted on an EQ5 mount, and it's up there tracking the sun all day as it's going across. Comes down up onto the table where I've got my laptop and whatnot set up. I use my viewing chair to sit on and be nice and comfortable. And we sit there, and as people are watching and looking through scopes, then they come over and see what I'm doing on a laptop screen, and I'm watching the sun just in a different manner, and it's pretty cool to do. So that's all you need to make your Itty Radio telescope.
So is that Mike Guyver in the end too, or was it just Mike Guyver a couple of slides back?
No, it was just a couple of slides back. This one's got no hair. It's more like, never mind.
More like Chris or Paul Guyver.
You got a haircut, that's all. Let me stop sharing. So that's if you want to build an Itty Bitty Radio telescope. Don't be shy. Get yourself a satellite dish and give it a shot. It's fun, and it's real simple to do. You can email me if you got any questions, but you can Google Itty Bitty Radio telescope, and they'll explain exactly how you build one. And it takes 10 minutes of your time. A couple of AA batteries, a couple of pieces of coax cable, and get yourself a finder, and you're off to the races. You want to go the extra step, get yourself a dongle and plug in and put it into your laptop, and you can actually watch the signal. And it is kind of cool because, you walk into that big open field, and you see everybody set up with telescopes, and here's this nerd in the corner with a dish. Like, what's he doing?
What's he doing? Oh, that's Mike. We just leave him alone.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, the dish needs maintenance. Every once in a while, the dish needs maintenance, so I have to put my two buddies to work here. You can see Darth has a screwdriver up in the air, and the other guy's drilling a hole, looks like right into his chest. But they're doing satellite dish maintenance for me tonight. So
So I guess you'd be on the right side, wouldn't you?
I'm sorry?
Emil's got a question here for you, Mike. What is the significance of the radio signals? What physical phenomenon do they represent?
Oh, that's a good question. All I can say is if you get a flare or even a coronal mass ejection, that's going to send more electromagnetic material towards you, then you're just listening to static, but you're going to hear the static get a whole lot louder and a lot more crackles in it when there's activity coming towards you.
Right.
Whether you can actually pick off a solar flare that's pointed away from you, I don't know. But you're basically listening to static, and you can see changes in the static. I'm just assuming it's things like coming from a sunspot or a solar flare that's pointed towards you.
No, you've done a talk. Have we done a talk before about listening to Jupiter as well, Jupiter and Io, or have we done that talk yet?
Yeah, I did that talk, but that's using a ham radio and a dipole antenna as opposed to using the satellite dish.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I was reading this afternoon because I was looking for a little bit of information. There's a teacher down in Massachusetts, and she built one of these for her students, or with her students, and they use it to listen to meteors at a meteor shower.
Oh,
so they use the satellite or the SDR software, and I guess as the meteor goes by, it's ionizes the air, but that's picked up as an electromagnetic signal, and you'll see that on the waterfall.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Good
It's
idea.
another second use for it. Something I'll have to try one of these nights.
Yeah. Or buy another one just for that.
Yeah. Well, what happened?
Has your sister got another dish or?
What we talked about meteorites in the past, when one goes through the atmosphere, if you have an FM radio and you tune it off the radio station, it'll pick up the signal from that radio station. This will do the same thing. You tune your satellite dish into a radio station that you can't hear, and then it'll ping off that, and you'll get some kind of a mark on your waterfall.
Well, awesome. Excellent. Thanks, Mike. Another great talk. Another great idea. More time to spend. More excuses to spend money.
Yeah.
You see somebody working in your neighborhood with a van in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And a screwdriver in there.
a white panel van.
You should have your satellite dish up in the morning.
I am looking for an 8-foot dish, by the way. Anybody that's got an 8-foot dish?
We'll
My
get him a
wife
hat.
won't let me have a 10 or a 12-footer, but she'll let me have an 8-footer. So.
We'll get him a hat that says gumshoe on it, Paul. Or FBI.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Great presentation. And a great idea. Lots of fun. Always something fun. Okay, so maybe for now we'll go to the photo submissions first, I guess. And then from there we'll go to the contest draw. How's that? Sound good? Well, no, Paul, you were going to do your talk first. Let's do Rosanna's fun fact talk first.
Do a fun fact first, yeah.
Yes, right, because we want to get you squeezed in so you're not talking for an hour all by yourself.
All right. Well, let's see if I can't do this again.
So when Mike shared his screen, we were still seeing the three of us down on one side. So I don't know whether Mike shared a window or he shared the screen, full screen.
Well, let's
Entire
see
street.
what I get into.
Okay.
Screen. And I don't know which one you're seeing.
Still just seeing you at the moment.
All three of us?
Yep.
Okay. And you should be able to see. Can you see Rosanna?
No. Are you sharing? Are you sharing now? Did you click sharing?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
This is
On the main Google Meet screen.
oh, hold it now. Present now.
There you go.
Sorry, I pressed the button. Right church, wrong pew.
That'll do it.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys.
No, still haven't got that. There we go. There we go.
There we go.
Now I'm just going to
Look at that.
see. I'm just going to see if I try to make my screen go full. 1 second.
Fun fact.
He's way ahead of me.
All right. So, welcome back, Rosanna, for another great fun fact this week. So this week on Rosanna's Fun Facts is a continuance of last week's talk about the asteroid belts and all the cool different things that are going on inside it. So, so last week we discovered that surprisingly there seems to be comets inside the main asteroid belt. Who knew? A good point to remember, though, is that no one was actually looking for comets in the main asteroid belt because they weren't expecting to see any. So that's not unusual in astronomy, but Neptune and Pluto were observed as stars long before they were identified as planets. Well, a planet and a dwarf star, or a dwarf star. The main asteroid belt comets shine dimmer than Pluto's moon Charon. So with millions of pieces of rubble orbiting between Mars and Jupiter, precise professional instruments are required to detect rare objects. So it soon became clear to Shea and Jewett that these asteroid belt objects, comets, weren't all acting like traditional comets due to some of them becoming active and forming tails that further, instead of closer, they were from the sun. Perhaps their tails had not developed from water shifting to ice. So what's going on? So in 2010, scientists noticed that 71-mile wide asteroid Sheila, and I'm going to show you that one right there. Sheila suddenly developed an enormous tail. And a backyard astronomer with a 24-inch telescope actually did get a picture of it, but what you're seeing here is actually Hubble's picture. So Sheila had remained mostly stable for over 100 years of observation. Also in the years that scientists discovered that 62-mile 2010 A2 asteroid was also sporting a tail. Using simulations, they were eventually determined that it would take an object 3.3 to 6.6 feet wide, 1 to 2 meters across. Oh, that's the distance that we have to do for COVID. And not much larger than that, a chair really moving at 5 kilometers per second to blow off a cloud of material. So perhaps collisions are creating these tails. And I'm going to show you basically how that would look. So as you can see, there's an asteroid going through, a small one, and it's going to hit a larger one. And as it impacts it, it hits it, it'll create the impact, and it starts to release these things that they believe are creating the tails on these asteroids, which is really, really cool. So when you look at that asteroid flying through space there, now let's go back to the illustration of what Hubble saw, which was, are we back with that there, or did I lose it? There we are. So if you look at those two, that's exactly what Hubble saw. So so despite Hollywood's portrayal of frightening lights through asteroid belts, and Rosanna wanted me to put this one on, so I'm going to put this on for you. This is kind of cool. This is what we depict as going through an asteroid belt would look like if we were from Hollywood and had a great imagination. So you can see all kinds of rubble, and then we've got these things being blasted through with a with a starfighter coming through. So that's what we did. You know, when we think asteroid belt, we think how small and close these asteroids are together. They're actually nothing like that at all. So so collisions are rare. According to Shea, a kilometer-sized item may crash into another one every 100 million to 1 billion years. But remember, math can do weird things. Since the asteroid belt hosts about 800,000 large rocky bodies, the low chance of colliding multiplied over the entire belt seems a handful of objects are probably smashing into each other somewhere right about now while I'm talking to you about this. So if the math is confusing, here's a great animation of how asteroids, we know from 1999 to 2018, the orange ones are the main belt asteroids. So I'll just play this for you. So so basically it's kind of, the illustration kind of tells you. So the animation represents a map of increased count of all known asteroids in the solar system between January 1999 to January 2018. So the blue represents the near Earth asteroids, and the orange represent the ones between Mars and Saturn. So as you can see, in 1999, this is how many near Earth ones. In 2009, the blue ones are the near Earth asteroids. And then in 2018, you can see how many more of those that we had detected. And then the orange ones, of course, and this represents all known asteroids in 2018 from here out to Saturn. So that is pretty cool stuff. So, excuse me. So it's no wonder it's hard to find a comet among them. But still, whether it's a collision or dying asteroids rotations, which is another possibility, they occasionally split the rocky body apart, creating a tail of dust or what is ice water. How does the discovery of these comets lead two scientists to wonder if they are connected to the origin of Earth's water? And that's kind of what this talk was all about. So that is this week's
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Hey. Awesome.
All right, we got through it. Now how do I get out of here? I got too many things popping up on my screen. There we go. Get rid of that. And it says I'm presenting. I don't want to do that anymore.
Had a couple of cats having a backyard.
That's wonderful. Rosanna's really got us working on the asteroid belts and what's going on in there, and some things we had never even considered. And so these two guys are doing an amazing job dissecting and checking out what's going on up there. Thanks,
Awesome.
Rosanna.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rosanna, and thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
Great piece of talk there. I guess we'll probably move to photo submissions now, because I know there's some people on here that are kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with the contest coming up. So, let's put the contest off to 11. How's that? Tomorrow night.
That's right. Keep them coming back.
Yeah. And next week's show, we'll do the second contest. Okay, so let's give me a second here. I'm going to open up a file, I guess. Find it. Shouldn't be hard to find. There we are, September 13th. Photos. Okay, so what I'm going to do is present now, I guess, in my entire screen. And I'll choose this one. And I think I'll be able to take and drag and drop them. Just 1 second, we'll find out. I'm going to bring this guy over to here. Now, can you guys see that? Photo of the moon?
A little delay for me to see it.
Okay.
I see a moon photo.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Okay.
Yep.
We're in the right spot then.
We are.
Okay, so this is these are some photos that were sent into the Sunday Night Astronomy Show at gmail.com address. We'll be talking about that address very soon as I give you some information about what's coming up. But this one was sent in by David Simard. These were taken back on August the 6th, so these are part of the moon contest photos. He sent them in for that, but they're included. And he sent this one about Jupiter and its moons as well. One second here, I get myself in order. Yep, okay. Pat Bacon sent this one, taken September the 1st, 2020. Quality is not great, she said, but it is the moon. Thanks for all that you guys do to promote astronomy. Taken September the 1st. Awesome, Pat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. That's over your way, isn't it? By McDonald's North?
Yeah, I'm trying to see where that is. There's no, that's uptown, I believe. Is that the no, that, where is that?
I don't know.
I can't tell. It almost looks like Frederick from there, but
Good picture either way.
Oh, that's a Ped. No, that's not the Pedway to Harbor Station. I don't know what that is.
we'll have to ask her. Really nice. Nice shot.
Absolutely.
Oh, great job.
And she's got this one with, although she says taken September the 1st, 2020, although Jupiter is visible, it needs to be enlarged to see Saturn, but I'm sure it's in there. Oh, it's in there somewhere. There it is. There's Saturn. Yep, a little bit, quite a bit dimmer, but Jupiter's a pretty hard one to outshine for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, there it is.
And from there, Frank Ferguson sent this one in. Frank had, please accept this photo as an entry in your Shoot the Moon contest. It was shot in the morning of the 5th of September, 2020 at Shemcook Lake.
Oh, nice.
Nice, eh?
Wow.
Yeah. holding the moon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a few shots here from Matthew Dupre. He had a number of shots with me last week. I said I would try to get a few more of them on this week. So here's a few more shots from Matthew. It was a Milky Way shot with beautiful Jupiter sitting there off to the left.
Nice shot.
I would say that's
Oh, there you go.
that looks like the eagle to me, right?
Nice.
An eagle, yep, with pillars of creation there in the center.
Oh, you look at the Milky Way? Oh, okay. No, there it is. Oh, there's the eagle. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, M16.
From there, he sent in this one. I believe this is, I don't know if that's M13 or not. It looks like Andromeda down here in the bottom left. I must confess I didn't grab all the notes, but still a nice globular cluster. Globular clusters, of course, are just collections of hundreds of thousands of stars all bound together by gravity.
Beautiful shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one was taken by My notes right here. Why have I got my notes all mixed up? I do have. Jeremiah Harding, sorry, yeah, from last night, Pleiades and Mars.
Oh yeah.
Awesome,
Okay.
yeah. So we're
See,
getting probably a little bit after 11, I guess, now when we get the Pleiades up. Wasn't it the other night, guys, about 11 o'clock or so that we saw
That's
Pleiades?
about 11, yeah.
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 So it's getting earlier. And of course,
Yay.
right behind it, there's the big V of the Hyades cluster there in the bottom of Taurus, the bull, in the eye of Taurus there. Just after that, of course, is Orion. So we're getting closer to our wintertime sky. But Mars now, that's so bright, and that's going to be getting much brighter. It'll actually outshine Jupiter when it gets to opposition on October the 6th. So we're getting closer to it, and it's going to get larger in our sky, and it's actually at a waxing gibbous phase right now, but it's going to appear, of course, full phase once the Sun and the Earth and Mars all line up. That's when Mars is at what we call opposition. Great shot, Jeremiah.
Yes.
beautiful.
Brenda Baird sent these in. Thought I would share a few pics of actually, this is at our campfire in Wasis, NB. She said not great, but she was trying to capture more of Mars than the Moon. And of course, with that, you had to kind of overexpose the Moon a bit to get Mars in that shot.
What was that conjunction? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people contribute photos for that. We had an early contest for that, of course, and the ones who did enter these photos got submitted into the planet part of the contest as well. So a great
That's
shot
great.
there. Here's another one that she had of the full corn moon that she took. And this one as well. You guys still able to see those? Yeah. Are we get a
Nice.
delay, guys? Yeah, must be a bit of a delay.
Yeah, no delay.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. Yes, sir.
That's cool.
Nice. Very creative, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't know if I have it else. Here's Tammy McLean's moon coming up in Woodstock, September the 4th. So you see this one in a second.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
That was the conjunction again. Oh, no.
No,
Oh,
that was
this
on
one.
September 4th. That's just the moon rising.
Oh, the wrinkle. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Check him up.
Nice and orange.
Tad orange.
Yeah, Tad.
Yeah. He's talking about orange now.
It's gorgeous.
That's the
So-
nice thing about the coming up. That where was that one from, Chris?
That was from Woodstock, she said. Tammy McLean.
That's been really, really low.
Mm.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
You have to get that color for sure.
Mm.
I saw that the other night in St. Martin's, kind of like that. It was a waxing or waning gibbous though, but it was really nice and red. I suppose they're getting that all the time out in Vancouver and stuff with all the smoke and everything. You've seen the sunset.
Everything's lit up there, yeah.
Sounds like that, yeah.
They can't. They're told to stay inside, not
Right.
even to go out. I
Right.
guess it's the worst air condition in the world. I guess at this stage.
Yes, they said that. Yeah, I heard that today. Yeah. Worst in the world, imagine. And this is sent from Jamie Andre. He just sent this in through my Facebook page. So obviously showing someone there a view of something, but he didn't say what, but it's still nice to see a family out enjoying themselves, enjoying the night sky and sharing it with someone new. That's where you get the new oohs and ahs and the excitement to get started in the hobby for sure.
Yeah.
The budding astronomer.
Yeah, that's it. And of course, if you want to send in your photos, you can send them into SundayNightAstronomyShow@gmail.com. We are more than happy to display what you are willing to send us for sure for astronomy photos. Very soon, I'm actually starting up a website. It's astronomybythebay.ca, and I'm going to actually get you to send your photos there once I get an email address set up for it. It'll just make it a little bit easier, and especially with these moon contests, I had to gather photos from my private address, from this address, gmail.com, from the moon contest. Every time I put a post up, somebody would put a moon contest photo right underneath it, so I had to go back through. It took me hours to get all the photos gathered together. So I'm going to try to make it all go to one address, period, the next time we run a contest. And then everybody can go visit the website to see all the photos in their quality that they sent them to me. A lot of the ones that I put back up on Facebook today, I had to shrink them down to 20% or 30% of the actual photo size just to get them squeezed up on Facebook. So that's what we'll be doing in the future. But for now, let's get out of this part, and I'll stop presenting because I don't really need to present to make the draw for the contest.
Yay!
Yay! Here we go.
We're ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Reach
So,
in.
so thanks, folks, for joining in, and we'll see you all next week. Oops, wrong thing to say. Okay, let's get started here. So the contest was, of course, shoot the moon and the planets too. And what I had asked you to do, of course, was take a photo of the moon, send it into the contest. Didn't matter what quality of the photo it was. I put up 148 photos, I think, this afternoon. Some of them were in there several times. It wasn't the fact that that person got several entries, but I had the real pleasure of people sending me more than one photo, just saying, hey, I'm already entered in the contest, but I'd still like to pass you on a photo and share it with everybody. So I did. That was great. And that's the idea of the contest, was to get people outside to look up, snap a photo, see where things are in the sky, see where Jupiter and Saturn are in the sky. And then once you found that, great. So that was the idea of the contest in the first place. And I'm going to make a draw now for our prizes, of course, are the 7x35 Tasco binoculars. I have 5 sets of these to give away tonight. 3 of them are going to go with the Shoot the Moon contest, along with the 50 Things to See with a Telescope book, the 50 Things to See with a Telescope activity workbook, and the 50 Things to See on the Moon. All these books were donated by John Reed. John, thank you again. John has these books all available on Amazon and other great bookstores. He also has a page called Learn to Stargaze. He's on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel and a Facebook page as well, so I encourage you to go follow him. John's an astrophysicist located in Halifax right now, and a very eager guy on all things night sky. And the Tasco binoculars were sent to us by a gentleman at Next Dome Observatory, so I'd like to thank them very much too for their donation of the prizes. Also, along with the moon contest, the 3 sets of binoculars and the 3 books, we're going to offer 2 more sets of binoculars, and these 2 books called the 2020 Guide to the Night Sky. They're really nice little pocket book. In through the book, there's all kinds of star charts for each month to tell you what the sky is like and what highlights of the month are going to be. This is for 2020. So it's still good for the rest of the year for sure, and even for next year. You might not find the planets in the same place, but the stars aren't going to move that much over the next year. So it's a great little star map book. Get yourself a nice red flashlight to see where you are, and they do light up pretty nicely at night. So I've got one of these in my little bag I carry to the beach with me, and I find them a very practical little book. Month by month guide to exploring the night skies above North America. So 2 of those to go along with the 2 sets of binoculars as well. So let's get into some draws. Okay, so the bigger, I have 2 bins here. One was for the Shoot the Moon, one was for the planets. I had more entries in the Shoot the Moon than the planets. That's probably what I kind of expected, but it was nice to see some people taking a shot of the planets at the same time. Some got Jupiter and Saturn in the shot. That's all it required. Some were taking the photo of Mars. Some even got me a photo of Venus in the morning sky. So the idea, I guess, was, again, just to find out where the planets were in the sky and that you could now go out and see them visually. So let's take a draw, I guess, for the first contest for the Shoot the Moon. I'll shake these all up first of all. You guys able to see me okay?
I can see you.
Okay. Mike?
Yep.
Okay, good. If I unpin myself, I go small up in the top right-hand corner. So anyway, let's go to the draw. That's what everybody's here for. So number 1, the first person to win the 7x35 binoculars and the John Reed book is going to be. Thank you, Paul.
Drum roll.
Who put that in there? Who put that in there?
What? The drum roll?
Somebody was playing a trick on me. Somebody played a practical joke on me. Look who won.
That was great. You need to for Space Force.
We'll take another one. Boy, oh boy, once I get off this call tonight, I know somebody's going to get...
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, Mr. Trump.
Oh, Mr. Trump. Let's try another name. We'll set that one aside in case he does watch the show. He wants to know where his prize is, but we'll have to get him one, I guess.
We'll feed him.
Of all the names to draw out, if there's another one in here, oh, we're good. Pat Oblinus.
All right,
Hey,
Pat.
There's prize number 1. So 7 by 35 binoculars and one of the 3 books, 50 Things to See series books. Donald J. Trump. You know, she asked me tonight, did anybody ever play a practical joke on you? I said, oh yeah, I've had practical jokes played on me all the time. Oh, now I know why. Okay, let's try this again. Number 2. And the second set of binoculars with the 50 Things to See book goes to Andrew Wilson. Andrew.
Hey.
Hey. Congratulations, Andrew. One more for the Shoot the Moon contest.
They show up backwards on YouTube.
Yeah, they do. Well, I'll be contacting all the winners anyway.
Okay.
All right, so let's go with our third and final entry for the Shoot the Moon contest. Flipping around a little bit. Take one out. Well, let's go with this one. How's that? Whoever that is. And the final winner of the Shoot the Moon contest.
You're Elliot Trudeau.
Shelley Duke. Shelley, congratulations.
Yeah, fantastic. Way to go, Shelley.
Perfect. Okay, that's the 3 for the Shoot the Moon. Now, if you took a picture of the moon and a planet too, you're entered in the other contest. So let's just carry on. We'll see if there's a Donald Trump from this one, maybe too. Maybe it's Ivanka.
Yeah.
Of all the 142 entries in there, and I pick out Donald Trump. Okay, here we go for the planet draw. Same thing, 7 by 35 binoculars and the 2020 guide to the moon, to the night sky. And the number 1 person is going to be, not the number 1 person, the number 1 ticket. Thank you, guys. Denise. Hey, Goche. Denise.
Hey, Denise.
Hey.
Congratulations, Denise. I'm going to organize all these, but I can always play the video back again to find out who won. Okay, final prize. Here we go with the final prize. For another set of 7 by 35 binoculars and the 2020 Guide to the Night Sky book. Here we go. Up we go again. All mixed up. These might not look like much, but there's a lot in there. They're all just kind of organized really well. Here we go.
All right.
1. There. Got it. And the final winner tonight, Jen Watson. Hey! Congratulations, Jen. So those are our winners tonight for the 5 sets of binoculars, the 3 50 Things to See books, the 2 2020 Guide to the Night Sky books. I'd like to say thank you very much to everybody who entered. It was a fun contest to run. And it was fun to be able to offer Mr. Donald Trump a nice prize as well.
Hey, Chris, Dan says that, he's going to say it's rigged.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not voting for him, so. Unreal. Oh, boy. Yeah. It'll all go away. No worries. It'll all go away. But thank you so much for everybody for entering the contest. It was a lot of fun to bring it to you. And again, the idea was to get you outside, take a look up, and it looks like a lot of people did. I hope you enjoyed the views while you were looking up. We'll be having another contest not too far down the road. We've already discussed what we may be offering for prizes. We think this one's going to maybe, hopefully, grab a lot of people and grab your attention because we think it's going to be a really nice set of prizes coming up. So just hold on to your cameras and cell phones, and we'll have you all back at the same function again a little bit later on. So from that, I'm going to unpin myself here, and I'm going to let it go back over to Paul, and who's chewing something there.
No, because which is good. Oh, now I'm back.
There you
I
go.
gotta spit it now.
It's all right. I've been eating Skittles.
Ooh, I love Skittles. All right. All right, so let me know when I'm ready there.
I think you're ready, Paul.
All right.
I might,
Okay, so if you want to pin me, or can I present if I'm pinned?
I think if you present, it's better. Yeah, go ahead and present,
Okay.
and I don't
All
have
right.
to pin you.
All right. Well, I'll switch the screen as I need be.
Okay.
So basically, what I'm going to talk about this week is, and we have requests for people asking. Once I take my moon photos, and if I'm taking a certain amount of moon photos, how do I put them all together in one to make it one picture? And what's the purpose of it? And because everybody hears this, this word stacking, but they don't know what it actually is and how it works and the benefits of it. So the benefits really basically are to improve your signal to noise ratio. And all that simply means is when you take the picture of the moon, if you just take one, chances are, depending on how you're taking the moon, there could be a lot of noise in your picture from your camera clicking on the thing, because a lot of the picture is going to be dark and you're trying to bring out certain things. So you might get a lot of noise and stuff on your picture. So the whole idea behind stacking pictures is so that the more that you stack together, then the more information, the moon, becomes more evident, and the less the noise, the background model and stuff gets to go away. And that's the whole idea behind stacking anything, really. So I'm going to show you 3 different ways to stack tonight. I'm only going to show you one demonstration on one of them, and I'll continue to do it just as little inserts as we go a little further on, because it would take just too much time. But I want to list some of the stacking software that's available. The first one that is a free one that everybody's used forever is Registax. That's Registax, Registax. It's a free download, and it's actually a stacking software that's designed. You can use it for individual images, or you can use it for taking video. And what I mean by video is most people, when they take planetary images or lunar images, they stick a webcam in their telescope and they take a whole bunch of pictures and they stack them up to make it nice and clear and very clean. So you can do both of those in that Registax software. Another one you can use if you want something super simple. The results aren't quite as good as some of these other methods I'm going to talk about. But one you can use is called StarStax, and StarStax is actually designed for doing star trails. So if you're, if you want to take a picture, say, point your camera towards Polaris, because that star anchors in there, and then you get all those stars all whirled around. Everybody's seen pictures of star trails. Well, this software is designed for that, and it's so super simple, and it's free. So that's another freeware. It's called StarStax, and I tried it this afternoon with moon pictures. And there's just one setting you got to change so that you can get a decent moon picture out of it. But you can get a decent moon picture out of it with StarStax. And the third way, and the most anchors in there, then you get all those stars all whirled around. Everybody's seen pictures of star trails. Well, this software is designed for that. It's so simple, and it's free. So that's another freeware. One sec here. There. Okay, sorry about that. Double trouble.
We got your back.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Pop-O-Matic, Pop the Dice, Pop the Double Trouble. Anyway, so the third and most important one that I'll show for those who have Photoshop is Photoshop, because anybody who's got any kind of manipulating software, most people have some form of Photoshop in their computer. So I can show you how to stack some moon images and get a nice decent image out of, say, I just took like 8 pictures so I can put those together. So it's just a real short, simple demonstration on how to do that. So in order to do so, I'm going to present my screen, and I'm going to try to do it for you. And I'm just going to clear a bunch of this other stuff off so I don't get confused. So I'm going to present my screen again, and my entire screen, and I'm going to put this one on and share. And that should just come up here in a second. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to pull over, and can you see that, Mike? That little file list? Is that on my screen?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see you come up on YouTube here.
Yeah. Should you say stacking demo and some pictures, some files?
Yeah,
I don't see anything right now.
but I don't see it on YouTube yet. I see it on us.
Okay, but it's not on YouTube.
No.
What happened? I disappeared.
No, you're here. I'm going to unpin you, Paul. Hang on. Let's try it again. There you go.
What are you seeing?
Okay, I see your desktop now.
Okay, are you seeing me move around a file on it?
Yeah, I am. Yep.
Okay, good. All right. So the file that I'm showing you here is excuse me, is just 8 pictures that I took of the moon, and I just took them with a camera, and they were just TIFFs now. Coming out of the camera, they could have been JPEGs, they could have been RAW, but you can convert them over to whatever file that you want. So these ones are TIFFs. So that's what I'm going to use for files to do a stacking demonstration. So the first thing we're going to do, or I'm going to try to do, well, I'm just going to get this.
One sec, Paul. We're trying to get you pinned here properly.
Okay. Oh, good God. That thing won't go away. Just a sec. Gotta wait for it to go away.
Okay,
Come on, get it.
You're still presenting to everyone, it says.
There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to, can you see that white screen I just brought up?
Yes.
Can you go full size on that? Or are you full size?
No, I will in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, when you have Photoshop, you're more likely going to have Bridge in there too, because all Bridges is just a place that you would throw your pictures, and then it's like a bridge to putting them into either Lightroom or Photoshop. So I'm going to open up Bridge. That should just take a moment. Or actually, it's not coming up. Oh, you know why? There it is. Can you see those photos?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking at pictures of birds, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So I'll open the files where these pictures are. So these ones are in my desktop, and they're in a stack called Stacking Demo right there. So can you see those images down the bottom?
Yes.
Okay, good. So what you're going to do is you're going to take those images, the ones I showed you first that were just in a file, and I just basically opened the file and I moved them all into Camera Raw, or into Bridge, I should say. So I'm going to take the very first image, and I'm going to click on it, and it's going to come up in the screen there. So you can see that it's a picture of the moon, first quarter moon. So I'm going to open this one up in Camera Raw. And the reason I'm going to do this first is because I want to make some adjustments to this photograph. So I'm just going to hit File, Open in Camera Raw. And just bear with me while that opens up in Camera Raw. So that you should see it now in Camera Raw.
Yeah.
So now, as I go up with Camera Raw, there's a whole bunch of sliders, just like any other kind of software. But this one's kind of nice because it's all just this one side. You don't have to look all over the place for it. And on the top, you're going to see this screen on top, and they call that a histogram. And what the histogram does is it shows you your shadow areas, which are the darker parts of your picture, your center areas, which are your mid-tones, and then the whites, which is the most bright part of the picture. On the very top, you're going to see these little black, they look like little triangles on the top. And those are basically, when you start to get too bright, for example, watch what happens if I crank up the whites. You see how that white lights up? That means I'm overexposed. So I got to get that out of there. So I want to make sure that that's not lit up when I'm doing my picture adjustment. That's kind of important because if it's lit up, then when you go ahead and finish your picture, you're going to have parts on it that are actually blown out, and your moon's not going to look good. So what we want to do here is just kind of go through the sliders. Pretty straightforward. Exposure, which is basically how much light that you let in on your photograph, and you can kind of adjust it a little bit here. And then there's the contrast, which is, everybody knows what contrast is, contrast and brightness. So if you want to do a little contrasting on it, what we're trying to do really is to get this terminator line, the line between the light and the dark, to show a lot of detail, because when we're shooting the moon at its phases, most of the detail is going to be on that terminating line. So that's the area that we're going to concentrate on mostly, but we also want to make sure that we're not washing out the rest of the moon too, because we want to make it look uniform as possible. So this is really what I call salt and pepper. You're just going to kind of set this up to the way that you like it. So if I put a little bit of clarity to it, maybe a little more detail, and I'm going to dehaze it a little bit so you can see the rest of the moon. And this section will get a little deeper, so you can start to see some of that Maria, those seas that you can see there. And there's still some other craters and stuff that you'll see on the outside. So you'll see that, but the main concentration will be definitely here. But we want an evenly illuminated surface is what we're going for. Now, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but you're also going to find that when you do this, this is what some of this noise will come in, because again, this is just a single image that we're looking at right now. But if I want to get rid of some of that noise right away, I'm just going to take my shadow slider and I'm going to turn it down, and it'll clean up a lot of that noise. And because I really don't want to touch my noise filter on this at all, because I want to keep the detail as much as I can while I'm stacking. So I've got the moon looking pretty good to where I think I like it. So all I'm going to do now is just press the little done button down on here, and it's going to throw us right back into bridge again. Okay. The only difference now is we have our moon that we did some adjustments on right over here. So the next thing we need to do is to take those adjustments, and I want to copy all of those adjustments to all the rest of the other moons. So all you have to do is simply hit Control-A or Shift and click, and then that'll copy all of your moon pictures. So now all the moon pictures are highlighted. So then, next thing we want to do is go up to the little section called Edit. You click on Edit, and then you're going to slide down to where it says Develop Settings. And then you're going to slide over, from Develop Settings, where it says Paste Camera Raw Settings. And you're just going to click on it. And then you're going to get this box come up. What this box is just all the different things that you've done to the image, and some of the things that if you wanted to, you could do. Like, for example, if I wanted to do a crop on that first image, cut certain pieces of it off, make the picture a certain shape, then I can also emulate that in every one of the other photographs that I'm working with. But I didn't do that. So this standard raw settings, default settings will work just fine for what I'm doing. So I'm just going to hit OK. When I do that, now you're going to see every one of the moons on the bottom has exactly the things that I just put in the first one. So now I've got my moon all full of goodness and clearness and sharpness the way that I liked on the original image. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stack them together. So okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to select the Tools button, which is right up here, the very top where it says Tools. We're going to open that, and we're going to go down where it says Photoshop, and then we're going to throw these over to Photoshop. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go down where it says Load Files into Photoshop Layers, because that's where we want to go. So we're just going to push that button, and lo and behold, if you look on this side of the screen here, it's loading every one of our photos into the layer section over there. So that's pretty straightforward so far, right? Our moon's a little bright right now, but we'll take care of that after we get a single image. So now we've got all of our moon photos in there in the layer section. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go and click the top one, and we're going to click the bottom one. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that first. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unclick all the pictures, which is pretty straightforward to do. And the only reason I'm doing this is just to make sure that none of them's gone awry on me. So as I add each picture into the thing, you're going to notice that the moon is not moving as I'm putting each picture up. And that's what we're looking for. We want to make sure that these moons, like not one has got only a half a moon on it, and the other one's got the full thing on it. We want to make sure they all have the same information, which they did. I just confirmed that. So now we're just going to click the top one, scroll down, and again, Control-A or Shift-click, and select. Now we've selected every one of the moon pictures in the layers. So now we're going to go over to where it says Edit one more time. And we're going to go to where it says Auto Align Layers right here. We're going to click on that. Now you're going to get this little drop box, and it's just telling you can do perspective, collage, spherical, cylindrical. Just leave it at the default, which is auto, and just simply click OK. Now what it's gone through, you'll notice that there's a funny little white line around the outside of the moon. Well, that's basically what they call stacking artifacts. So they've already stacked all 8 pictures together, but it had to make a few adjustments on each one to make sure that it lined up properly. So, so based on that, it looks pretty darn good to me. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to layers. So again, on top where your all your commands are, you're going to go to layer, and then you're going to go to smart objects, and then you're going to go to convert it to a smart object. That's all you're going to do. So again, layer, smart objects, convert to smart object. And now it's going to convert that to a smart object and get it ready for the actual stacking, because we haven't stacked yet. We've now converted this to a smart object, and now it's ready for stacking. So all we're going to do now is pretty much the same thing again. Layer, smart object, and we're going to go to stack mode, convert to smart object. Stack mode, right down here. And there's a number of different choices. The one you want to choose is median. Just click on median. And now it's going to go ahead, and now we've converted that to a smart object. And there is your moon, right from your files. You've made a little adjustment. You've duplicated that adjustment to all of your moons. You've thrown it over to Photoshop. You stacked it all up. You checked your images. Everything is good. You put it into a smart object, and you stacked it into an image. There's your final image before you get into processing the moon. If I was going to share this with my friends, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to image, adjustments, and I would just make a couple of curve adjustments on this, kind of take the highlights down a little bit, you know, maybe do a little S-curve on it, so they got a nice illuminated image. It looks nice and clean to me. I don't see any artifacts in the background. That's probably the only adjustment I would make on it if I just want to go ahead and share it. And once you've got that done, simply go to File. Don't go to Save As. You're going to go to Export. Go to Export and go to Save for the Web. Because if you choose this Save to the Web, it's going to save it in an sRGB file. So the way that you see it on your screen is the way that the people on the web are going to see it when you share it. So you click Save to the Web. It's going to open up this screen. All you're going to do is simply just hit Save. And it's going to ask you, where do you want to save it to? Right? So you say, I'm going to save it to my desktop. And I'm going to call this one Stacking Moon with Friends. And I'm simply going to hit Save. So now that's saved on my desktop. I'm just going to get out of all that stuff. I'm going to unshare here. You are presenting, stop presenting. And that, my friends, is as simple as it is to take some moon images, stack them up, put them in Photoshop, and get an absolutely stunning image. Now, I could show you that image. Stacking camera, that's it. Are you seeing my screen? You're not seeing the moon, right?
No.
Okay, just one sec. Sorry about that. Sure. And I'll try that again. My apologies. There, you seeing the moon now?
Yes.
Yes.
So look at that moon. Look at the detail. Look at how fantastic that looks. There's no dirt or distortion or any funny looking noise artifacts in the black area. The terminator line is strong, super. There's lots of detail to look at. That's a fantastic image that you would be proud of to share on the internet. So that's basically would be if I was going to shoot the moon and stack it just with a simple camera and lens and do, I would of course use a more powerful lens for this. And this is the kind of results you can get. So that's what I want to show you tonight. I will show you the other ones next week because they're like super simple, super fast. But then what we'll do is we'll compare all 3 results. One result with RegiStacks, one result with StarStacks, and one result with Photoshop. And then you can see, to take a little bit more time and put a little effort into it, how much nicer you can actually make your moon look. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's awesome, Paul.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So continuation we shall be next week.
Yes.
Into more of the mini workshop.
we will continue on with that.
Bum,
Awesome.
bum, bum, bum.
Okay. Well, we got two topics to choose from, I guess, to end off the show. I guess we're at 1:12, I guess, right now, 1 hour and 12 minutes. Oh, yeah, we had a question here, Paul. Sorry. Richard asked, Richard William asked, could you still use,
I don't know.
okay. Could you still use dark frames when stacking photos of the moon?
It's really, you could, if you wanted to, yes, you could. I don't really see the necessity because the moon is such a bright item that it doesn't take much to take care of noise.
Oh, just
So you're not heating up your sensor like you would, like if you're taking, say, a deep sky object, then if you're using a DSLR or an astro camera, you're on that target for a couple of minutes at a time, 3, 4, 5, even up to 10 minutes. So you're building up a lot of noise on your sensor. But when you're shooting the moon, it's like it's a very fast, like 1/100th of a second shot. And the only noise you get is just the dark stuff that's around there, and you can clean that up easily with just the sliders. So to take dark frames would be just a lot of stuff to go through. You probably don't have to.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions on here before we finish up with Paul? Just checking on Facebook. I think that
Can I just send all my photos to you and let you process them for me, Paul?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just start that folder to the side. I'll fill her up with a bunch of stuff.
And then you could enter on our next moon contest as Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
To the moon, Al. To the moon.
To the moon.
It'll be Rick.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Paul.
Oh,
Excellent.
you're welcome. And keep in mind too that like Chris had mentioned before, these shows are recorded, so you can go back and look at them. So if there's stuff that I've covered that you're not sure about, you can go back and look at the videos. And if there's ever anything that you need, or if you need to ask questions, I'm not sure where they would want to send that, Chris. You can.
Oh, they can send them to Sunday Night Astronomy Show at gmail.com if they want, or they can and I can send them on to you from there, Paul. That's
absolutely. And I'd be happy to work with anybody who has a question. If I can, I'll find out and answer for you.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Well, we got two final topics to choose from. So it's either talk about what's up in the sky over the next week, or it's to talk about zodiacal light.
The zodiacal light, that fellow's been patient, I think.
He has been, yeah. So I probably should try that one. The only thing I wanted to mention really about next week is tomorrow morning when the waning crescent moon is going to be near Venus, or it's going to join Venus near the Beehive cluster. So it'll be a nice little triangle of features there tomorrow morning. The waning crescent moon, brilliant Venus in the sky, and the Beehive cluster, which is a nice collection of stars, yeah. So kind of tough to capture the whole thing as you would see it, I guess, because the Beehive would be pretty dim, right? But you might get them all in the, I'm not sure how far apart they are. I think they're fairly close, so you might get them all in the same field of view of binoculars, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see if I can get, I'm going to try then the zodiacal light talk that I had prepared. Just give me a second, I'll try to find it here. It should be right here, I think. And I'm going to try to go to, no, I think I'm going to have to share my screen. Present your entire screen, and it's going to be this one again. Pretty sure that's the only one I can present because software that runs the broadcast in background only lets me present on one screen. So let me see what happens here. There's not too many slides here. It's just I guess less than 10 really. Now, can you see something up there?
I see you're presenting to everyone.
Okay. Maybe it might take a second or two. Let me know.
There you go.
There, if you see a shot of the zodiacal light.
Nice.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, no, there was a gentleman that had asked me. I meant to reply to him tonight to tell him that we'd be doing a talk, but I'll go back on the Gmail account and let him know that we did do it. He can go back and take a look at it, I guess, if he's not on. So the zodiacal light it's a cone of eerie light at the sunrise or sunset point on the horizon, usually before dawn breaks or after twilight ends, No matter where you are on Earth, you've got the best chance of seeing it in the west in late winter or early spring, and in the east before dawn in late summer or early autumn. Maybe you've seen the zodiacal light in the sky and not realized it. Maybe you've glimpsed at it while driving on a highway or country road at this time of year. Suppose you're driving toward the east in the fall, in the hour before sunrise, or in the spring time, the hour after dusk. You catch what you think is the lingering evening twilight or the early morning glow caused by the light of a nearby town just over the horizon. But instead, you may actually be seeing the zodiacal light. In late winter and early spring, it looks like a hazy pyramid of light extending up from the western horizon after evening twilight ends. Now, people used to think the zodiacal light originated somehow from phenomena in Earth's upper atmosphere. But today we understand it as sunlight reflecting off dust grains that circle the sun in the inner solar system. Over 60 tons of space dust hits the Earth every day. These grains are thought to be left over from the process that created our Earth and the other planets of our solar system over 4.5 billion years ago. These dust grains in space spread out from the sun in the same flat disk of space inhabited by Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and the other planets in our sun's family. This flat space around the sun, the plane of our solar system, translates on our sky to a narrow pathway that we call the ecliptic. This is the same pathway traveled by the sun and the moon as they journey across our sky. The pathway of our sun and the moon was called the zodiac, or pathway of animals, by the ancients in honor of the constellations that were seen beyond it. The word zodiacal stems from the word zodiac. So in other words, the zodiacal light is a solar system phenomenon. The grains of dust that create it are like tiny worlds, ranging from meter-sized to micron-sized, densest around the immediate vicinity of the sun and extending outward beyond the orbit of Mars. Sunlight shines on these grains of dust to create the light we see. So how can you see the zodiacal light? Zodiacal light can be extremely bright and easy to see from latitudes like those in the southern U.S. Meanwhile, sky watchers in the northern U.S. or Canada, parts of Canada, sometimes say they've never seen it. Well, you're going to need a dark sky location to see the zodiacal light, some place where city lights aren't obscuring the natural lights in the sky. The zodiacal light is even milkier in appearance than the summer Milky Way. There's a great shot of it there.
That's beautiful.
So it's most visible after dusk in the spring, because as seen from the northern hemisphere, the ecliptic, or the path of the sun and the moon, stands nearly straight up in the spring with respect to the western horizon after dusk. So there's our ecliptic line, and if we roll way over here to the western sky, we would see that line almost straight up. Where am I? There we go. Likewise, the zodiacal light is easiest to see before dawn in autumn, because then the ecliptic is more perpendicular to the eastern horizon in the morning sky. In spring, the zodiacal light can be seen for up to an hour after dusk ends, or in autumn, it can be seen for up to an hour before dawn. Unlike true dusk, though, there is no rosy color to the zodiacal light. The reddish skies at dawn and dusk are caused by Earth's atmosphere, while the zodiacal light originates far outside our atmosphere. Now, the darker your sky, the better your chances of seeing it. And your best bet is to pick a night when the moon is out of the sky, although it's definitely possible and very lovely to see a slim crescent moon in the midst of this strange milky pyramid of light. So in the spring, look to the west after sunset, and in the fall, look to the east before sunrise. And that's the zodiacal light.
So, where would be a good spot to see that if you were in a city and you wanted to go have a look at it?
Well,
Yeah.
I guess if you decided to get outside the city, anywhere where you're going to be able to get away from the glow of the city. A second here, I got to close this out. Stop presenting. There we go.
I love that. Serious, not serious.
You can't be serious.
Yeah. I imagine, Paul, up and around your way would be close to. I mean, if you're looking at the eastern sky, so if you were looking east in your direction, you might see Monktonish or so. Maybe not that much. This time of year, you'd be wanting to look east before dawn, right? To catch it.
Yeah.
I can't say if I noticed anything on Saturday morning when I was up watching the sun come up there.
You didn't see anything? No.
And I was up almost an hour before sunrise. Now, I can't say I was looking for it either, but I didn't notice anything to the east that was catching my eye to say, oh, yeah, here it is.
Yeah, right.
So if I lived in the city, say, for example, I'd probably want to go to the west side so that I'm not looking through the city lights to try to see something coming up in the west if I'm looking for a really dark sky, right?
Well,
Right.
this would be rising in the east this time of year, so you wouldn't want to go west. You'd probably want to go east of the city.
No, I mean for the sunset part of it.
Oh, for the
Yeah.
sunset, yeah. So in spring, yeah, that's what you'd want to do in the spring. In the fall of the year, the best time to see the zodiacal light is actually in the morning sky before sunrise, looking towards the east, because that's when the eclipticus is highest. It's highest in the east in the fall, and it's highest in the west in spring and winter.
Okay.
Robert said it's supposed to be more apparent starting on Wednesday.
There you go. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's
Perfect.
leading into fall. We're not quite to fall yet. I guess we're still.
Yeah.
It is around the autumnal equinox that is supposed to start to appear. So I think the slides I put up there were showing like the end of September, something like that. So yeah, but it is still something to see and to capture it with a photo would be nice too. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, get that
That
and
would be
Milky Way together in shot.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So if you went, so the St. Therese wouldn't be good for that, right? Because you're looking over East St. John.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so because you're looking over East St. John. That's right, towards the refinery and stuff. So I think you'd want to be farther east than that. Redhead, maybe
Down
Redhead,
toward that.
the
What do they
lighthouse
call that?
down there.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, down that area would probably
Even
be
where
great.
we were, Martin's would be a nice spot.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it comes right up over the hill down there, I
So
suppose.
better,
Well, we'll go to Trudy's for breakfast.
Go where?
We'll go to Trudy's for breakfast.
There.
Yeah.
In St. Martin. Yeah,
Not to climb to the top of the hill to see it, though.
in the outskirts of St. Martin's. Yeah. I'll stop that one. That's got to
I'm
stop.
not touching that line.
Well, let me see if I got any closing notes here. I think we're pretty well to that point now, are we not, guys? We're looking.
Yeah,
like,
we are.
Yeah, we're into 125.
Okay.
Well, let's close out our evening then. So in closing tonight, I guess we'd like to thank all of you again for your continuous support here. We really do appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to come to you and bring you what we think we know. Still good to have a few laughs. Congratulations again to all the winners in the contest tonight. I'll be in touch with all of you as soon as we get off the broadcast here between now and tomorrow morning to let you know how to claim your prizes. And thank you again, all of you, for participating in the contest. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun for me to put it on, and I hope it was fun for you to contribute your photos. Remember, too, we do love getting your photos, again, so you can send them to Sunday Night Astronomy Show at gmail.com, and we will put them on the broadcast the following week for sure. We're also looking for suggestions for topics for future shows. We did cover the zodiacal light topic this week. I'm glad we covered that. But if you do have topics for other shows that you'd like us to discuss for future episodes, please send in your request to the same address, Sunday Night Astronomy Show at gmail.com. And we will do our best to make it happen. Now, we've got a couple of guests coming up in the near future that we'll discuss. There are going to be some really nice topics coming up very soon. Don't forget as well that we are going to get back to live feeds, which means our live stacking feature. Hopefully we'll have better luck this year than we did last year, guys. But We had a lot of cloudy nights, a lot of rainy Sunday nights, and we're only offering it one night a week, so it's a little bit tough to pick that one night a week. But we are looking forward to the dark skies that are coming very soon. And as they do, these two guys that we see on the broadcast here with us, and maybe a few more along the way, will be helping us to live stack some live images of galaxies, star clusters, planets, that type of thing. And we'll do this discussion around each of the objects that we look at. And we'll try to all learn together about that particular topic. So that's coming up in a couple of weeks, I would say. Not much later than that, because it's starting to get dark now, right around 8:30 or so. So we're not very far away from that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to look forward to for this fall and winter coming up. We'd also ask you too that if you enjoyed the content here tonight and you did join us from YouTube, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe to our channel. And please let your family and friends know as well, here Facebook and YouTube both, that we are here every Sunday night at the same time to try to educate and entertain you as much as possible about the night sky. So for now then, from Paul, Mike, and I, stay safe, everyone. We all wish you all very clear skies, and we hope to see you all again here next week. And remember, as we like to say here, please keep your scopes pointed up.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good night, everyone.
Big hands.
Big hands, big hands, big hands. And a salute to Emil.